There I am. Ah, I just realized I was using a different scene because I recorded a video earlier. Now let me turn that light on. Get it together. I haven't even had my first sip of this delicious Red Bull that's going to keep me up till midnight. Starting the stream a little bit early today because I might end it a little bit earlier as well. We'll see. None of this shit matters to you because you're watching the VOD. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, Jasmine said she's gonna get up at 5 in the morning, which invariably wakes me up as well, so don't know that I want to go to bed super late. Let me clean my glasses while we get started here. Hey Pattis, hey Quicksana, hey Chaz, Solo, Talet. Talet, what is the origin of your name? Anybody else that's coming in right now? I can't see you. I'm blind as a bat. Cleaning my glasses with one of these handy disposable glasses cleaning cloths that, I don't know, maybe you got them in the US? I just always associate them with Germany. People wear glasses a lot here. I think glasses are like considered just more normal or something, or don't seem as lame as in the US. Like in the US, we're always rocking contact lenses and stuff. I think more people wear glasses than contact lenses here. Things are like, yeah, why not? I need glasses. So, I'm not looking at chat. I'll catch up in a second. I should have done this beforehand, but I just realized how filthy my glasses were. Alright. Hey, Nick. Fielder, what's going on? Tell It Said was my first EVE Online tune 15 years ago. Okay, but 15 years ago when you were making your EVE Online tune, why did you pick Talet Tahak? Hey, Zukin. Was it just kind of random back then and it's got a life of its own now, or? As you can see, I'm wearing a sweater. People outside are wearing sweaters and jackets and full coats because it's freaking cold. It's supposed to be the hottest summer in 120,000 years in Europe. It's weird because I've lived in Europe for a while now, and this is one of the shittiest, coldest summers. It's when you look at like the upcoming daily weather, it's basically as cold as fall and raining every day. It was supposed to rain yesterday, so I wound up not going to the garden and trying to sneak in, like just trying to clean up a little bit. But it was like raining 5 days before that, and the next 11 days are supposed to be rain. 97 in Burbank, you envy me? We'll swap you for that. Cacao, thank you for 8 months. Quick Santa? Thank you for 4 months. Yeah. Not. You Americans and your warmth. You Canadians and your... Eastern Canada, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if your weather's kind of... I would expect your weather to actually be a bit cooler than ours as well. If you're closer to the Atlantic. We're inland a little bit and south from the sea. Sweden had some decent weather like that. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm opening Unity. We're doing more dungeon decorating today. Been doing that offline as well. VidSnap. How you doing? Zukin said, I sure hope some barrels are placed. I do like barrels. Yeah. Lots of barrels, lots of boxes, lots of campfires, lots of torches. Some tables. As more props become available, Harrison, then we'll get more of them in there. Guess with all that rain, it would be a good day to hunker down and open up the public server. Yeah. It's too late. It's too late. If you had just mentioned that earlier, just a little bit earlier, then maybe we would have done it. But Talat answered my question above. Talat was random and Tahak was just a joke for THC. Hey, you know what? Little stoner humor, always good. Shmonite, hello. Subnatural, I've been responding to you, but hello. By the way, female halfling is unlocked now. In case you didn't see, I saw Keith's update, but I haven't messed with her. So, where do I get my sweaters? I get most of my stuff from H&M. I wear the same black T-shirt 90% of the time. I attempted to switch to a different T-shirt that was not H&M slim fit. Regular neckline, slim fit. And so I got this like, oh, they're supposed to be really good fitting T-shirts and they're really expensive. And so I got them. Don't like the fit. Every once in a while, if I'm wearing one, there's like a little bit of a, kind of comes down a little bit and it's a little bit tighter. It's just, that's when I'm wearing one of those. I think I need to just get them out of my inventory. I've got just closet is all the same shirt basically. Makes it easier. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tend to wear my jeans until they like absolutely need to be washed. Like I spill something on them or they get like really muddy. If they get a little muddy, you can just kind of get that rubbed off. But I'll wear jeans or pants. Assuming I'm not like doing a lot of garden work or like, you know, shoveling a lot of dirt and getting all stinky and just, you know, you can only get so many like super sweaty crotch days in a pair of pants before you do have to wash them. But like just average chill jean wearing, I mean, I'll go a month, 2 months, 3 months easy without washing jeans. And so a lot of times if the weather is kind of stable, I'm wearing a black t-shirt and the same pants every day. Socks I experiment with to try to get the ones that feel the best. Yeah, it's just, it makes it so that I know what I look like that day. I don't have to be thinking about it very much. I've done the whole, lots of cool shirts with logos and all that stuff. And now I'm old and over it. Dude's going full Steve Jobs, never goes full Steve. It's just easier. It's just easier. Bananatron says, I do the same with shirts, but do gray instead of black because fading is less noticeable over time. Yeah, I really like black shirts though. But there are the ones, there's like a kind of a spectrum of the same black shirt. As they age, they get a little bit tighter, a little bit fadier. Bless you, Jasmine. All that. So some days if I'm like, I'm going to be doing garden work, I'll throw on like one of the really kind of busted ones that's almost about to be thrown out. Or if I want to, you know, if I want to present a little bit and flex up, then I'll wear a little bit tighter one. So I go, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm just drinking a beer, you know, and then the brand new ones are kind of baggy and just kind of hide. So Schmodite said, bless you, Mrs. Robot. Sparrow said, whoa, sweaty crotch day, huh? What did I walk into? You walked into dungeon decorating. What did you think, silly? I'll turn the music up a little bit more. It's a little bit quiet back there. Fashion stream. We do need to, later on we'll do fashion streams. As Zukin continues to get in badass art. Let me hit play on this beast so we can look at the female halfling. Did you just call your crotch a dungeon? VidSnap? I think you called my crotch a dungeon, or at least you were thinking about my crotch as a dungeon. You know what? The mental images I just had, VidSnap, we're gonna switch topics now. Because I immediately went into like Tower of Frozen Shadow jokes and all sorts of stuff. And that's just too much for this early in this type of stream. It is a Thursday stream. I apologize for not doing a Tuesday stream, but I think it was like Monday that we found out that there was a MRI opening for Tuesday. So I was just like hopping on it. Because I just had the MRI on my right shoulder. They wouldn't change that and do neck and shoulder at the time. So I got that, went to the doctor. Doctor was like, hey, all right, go talk to a surgeon. Now go get another MRI. Got the MRI for my neck. I've got not that you care, but since it is my stream, I'll make it all about me. I've got a herniated disc. Got a herniated disc, which explains the numbness. So now that we've got that figured out, then I get to go back to my doctor and see what they want to do to actually deherniate my disc. But I'm assuming no jujitsu for a little bit then. Oh my gosh, he's missing his eyeballs. That's scary. Physical therapy may help. It helped my disc issues a while back. Yeah, I'm thinking physical therapy. One of Jasmine's coworkers had some luck with, I think, cortisol injections. So we'll see if there's any like non-sketchy kind of help of that sort. Those of you that have not seen our cute-ass halflings before, Zukin's got some additional like hairstyle or no, facial hair, sideburns. I think the same hair, but then the hair also disappears when wearing like a cowl, and it looks. Tannhauser said conservative management is the best approach to a herniated disc. Is the best first approach. Yeah, I tend to be more conservative. Like I don't necessarily like getting opened up for stuff or injected, but I don't want to spend like the rest of the year nursing the herniated disc if there is something. If there's something that may help it move along a little bit quicker, but I'll keep that in mind. Oh damn, I like them. Wow, love the little guys. VidSnaps have played halfling since Classic EQ. My favorite race was a halfling bard in the July 4th playtest. Let's go. Forget the food items, wear the troll. Give it time. Our trolls are pretty awesome looking in concept, so I'm excited to see what Zukin does there. Oaknut Pinecone. You know what? You don't sound like a troll. You sound like a halfling. Are you trying to trick us? Let's try Lady. Oh yeah. She's got her curves. Got her curves, got her feet. I can't see the feet because of Chu's name, but they're there. Needs more toe hair? Is a female only option, Brown Butcher? Do halflings have eyes? They do. And they are really nice looking eyes and stuff as well. Just you gotta, like right now, since there's just the one haircut, Here, I'll find a pic. Where Zukin had a cowl up. Cowl? A hood? Zukin had a hood up. And so you could see the full face, and it's really, really cute. So hold on 1 minute. And looking like Joey Ramone. That's pretty tight though. Here, I'll show you the these other options. That's a really sweet face. I think that's just a really cute face. Yeah, Zukin mentioned something I was about to mention when I was talking feet a second ago. Got distracted. The feet hair change color to match your hair color, which is that's a pretty next level feature that we've already got in. Matching feet and hair color. Take that, video game streamers that don't know what we're about. Jasmine's just laughing. Can you game do this? The carpet matches the drapes is next level. Yep. And you better watch how far we take that concept. How is your game different than, oh my god, is that halfling naked? Inspiration from Conan. This setup right here definitely looks like somebody I smoked weed with in high school in Alabama. Hey man, you like to smoke? But yeah, halfling lady. Sassy. Pipe weed, am I right? Yep. Yep. Cool. All right. So checked them out. Let me go back. Let me grab my tune. And then we'll sass around with her some other time. Nope. Which one do I... It doesn't matter. They're basically the same thing. Conan had a Winky slider? Did it? That's pretty cool. I mean, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. Hermit Craig says, can you briefly explain the difference between Archer Ranger and Inquisitor Paladin? Is Spellblade like a wizard melee? So Spellblade is, yeah, it's like a melee wizard. Hold on 1 second. Invulnerable, aggro off. Cool. But they're essentially proc-based class. Sort of an interesting take. Their abilities come in the form of procs. I'm not the expert level describer of all things classes. And that's something that Nick can help you out with, but I'll fumble through some of it. Inquisitor versus Paladin. Paladin is, as you expect, using the power of faith to provide a melee class abilities that are both protective and healing and otherwise sort of benefiting in positive ways their group, whereas an Inquisitor is more of a enchanter, crowd control, melee hybrid. So the way that, like, I described Inquisitor when we were first talking about him, because the idea when, like, I first brought up Inquisitor as a potential replacement for Shadow Knight when we were like, do we want to have all the same classes and stuff that people are expecting, or blah blah blah. And so we tossed around some different class ideas. Inquisitor to me just kind of felt like, you know, you've seen him in other games, right? It's not like it's a big deviation or something new, but whenever I think of like if I think of Darth Vader force choking somebody, that seems very inquisitory, right? Like, and then the idea of just a little bit of, these are not the droids you're looking for, on top of somebody that's proficient enough with that type of like control-based magic to be able to hunt down heretics and magic users and shit like that. Yeah, seemed like flavor-wise, and then a little bit of like what kind of where could we play with their kit? Inquisitor seemed like a differentiator. And then Archer Ranger's a little bit more difficult, but picture Ranger as what you would expect to be like a Ranger, right? I think in the past we've talked about Aragorn versus Legolas. And then so Ranger, very much the interesting toolkit, personality in the field. They are your Strider. Whereas the Archer is more of a physical damage based range DPS, kind of like a wizard with arrows, but then there'll be some interesting stuff that I think gets added in there for Archer. When we first talked about him, I kept falling back on like longbowmen and like just, that person that can kind of like hunker down and just blast your ass, not necessarily to, the Legolas riding a shield downstairs kind of thing, but it's just one person's opinion. So we'll figure it out. There's a lot of cool shit we could do there, but I think the Archer probably wind up feeling more like something that's there to, blast shit, whereas the Ranger feels like a Ranger, versatile and explory, and allows you to be a loner, Dottie. So Pattis can be a loner, doing things you couldn't understand, wouldn't understand, shouldn't understand. So, well, I guess the Red Bull has officially entered my system. So, hey, thanks, Nick. Yeah, so I've been throwing in some props and temporary lights and stuff in our wonderful Tel Ekir dungeon. So we've got, there's still some placeholder stuff going on, like the water shader here is definitely a bit Tron on your eyes. But we've got these different areas, and in this one, really wanted this to feel like this is the ruins of an ancient city that the Ashira have come in and kind of repurposed. And so really wanted this interior part of it where we've got this magical waterfall and this magical font that's up there. Wanted to feel very kind of like active and urban, but still have like these nice shadowy spots, right? Because it's going to be a mix of, our shaders are being reworked on a number of things, and so now I've got the Darth Vader silhouette. Hold on one second. Let me move some stuff around on my screen so I can see a little bit better. Hermit Craig, you're very welcome. VidSnap, hopefully I helped answer your question as well. I miss F is for family. I remember that actually. Okay. Great bows, crossbows, bows could each be separate weapon types. They could be. I don't know how far we're going to delve into crossbows. Great bows and bows could be a thing for sure. Mortis Sirius 88 says in FNF games, as they use classes like Sniper to have debuff you can inflict people with, such as aim for legs, for CC, aim, arm, disarm. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch we can play with that. Dual hand crossbows. Fielder, I think Pattis said no hand crossbows. It's a ranger thing. He's like, no. You do that and I'm out of here. Yeah, Okna, I think that was a few people's sentiment. Dual hand crossbows seem hard to reload. I've actually got a book right near here that a former Delta Force guy wrote. That's just on firearms handling, and he shows really good ways to just reload on your thigh, reload on a seam, reload on a pocket if you got sights. So I could see, you know, as long as it's got like it's a magazine, which we've got the repeating crossbow kind of thing. So. Fully auto crossbows. That'd be more wowish, I think. Use feet to reload. That might work. I just pictured cartoons of hillbillies running where the feet always come up past the head. All right, so back to what we're doing here. So really getting just sort of the base kind of placeholder pop in and adjusted. You know, some nice clumps around campfires and stuff. I really like, I just asked the team in a video whether or not these textures are emissive. But I really like the kind of glowy stars textures on the tents. You'll see everything's named a youngling. It's a placeholder mob that Nick had put in, so that we can do a first pass and start to just get a little bit of a vibe check on layout and everything, and then from there we'll start to update the actual records with the actual dudes that are gonna be in here. But yeah, so basically a lot of warm lighting in this part of the dungeon to differentiate it from other areas. Areas where the Ashira are Chili and Cheese says, Nick's a great guy, looks good. Great work on everything. There we go. That's a lot of positivity. Like it. So the idea is that there will be some darker areas as well. And the kind of the inspiration for these areas in the dungeon, I'll spoil it a little bit, but the inspiration is actually taken from Cappadocia. And so we've got this ruined city that goes deep underground in places and is winding and all of that. And the Ashira have repurposed it, but not necessarily all of it. And so they don't necessarily like going deep into certain areas. So you'll see that there'll be a lot more light, and rooms will be illuminated, and maybe not here because still got work to do. But and that's what we'll do tonight. But then as you go deeper in certain areas, then it won't be as populated with them, and it won't be as bright. So is there still possibility of a faction switch happening between here and Night Harbor, or is that scrapped? Nope, it's in progress actually. I'll come up and kind of show you. They are a race of humanoid jackals. So trying to think. Yeah, so I think a lot of this area is still it's still in progress. So we'll get off this first floor here, and we'll go up via the tower. And so, let's see. Wait, am I actually heading towards the tower? I'm not. Would it be fair to say this dungeon has some Black Bro influence in its design? Yeah, there are a number of influences going into it, but definitely one of them. Keep going up. And up. Apologies for the performance as I'm running around here. You'll see a lot of like lighting artifacts and weird shit going on. It's because I've been throwing, I'm the one throwing in a gazillion lights at the moment. So it's not optimized by any means. It's just shitload of point lights just to kind of give it a little bit of an effect. And I'm running it in the editor, so. Nick said, I think we're using 0.5. Yeah, I was noticing that, and I was wondering if that was going to be the case. Let's see. So I can actually hit them pretty easily and shrink them down. Yeah, so if we look at, where's the one that's near me right now? Where am I? There I am. Yeah, but no, it's a good point. I played with it for some reason. I thought when I looked... Oh, you know what? I think we'll have to do that when I'm actually not running the scene. Are the torches, fire emitters, lights placed as a single unit or separate entities? Separate prefabs. So it's all one combo. So the fire emitter, light, sound emitter, everything is all part of one prefab, and then we instantiate the prefab. Chili and Cheese, thank you for the follow. It's like how you have to throw up lights to do real construction, then install consumer lights later on. Yep. This is really just kind of like a concept. What do you guys think aesthetically, and then let the artists do their magic. So it's kind of like designer art in a sense. Ryan, thank you for the follow. 15 minutes ago, I'm a little bit slow on the draw. Vidsnap says, y'all gonna make me resub EQ or P99. Your boy is jonesing right now. Oh man, that's good. That's a good sign. Means we're doing something right. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, there are just a number of like, Pattis went crazy in here. So there's a number of twists and turns and ups and downs and rooms that probably shouldn't be that bright, but I'm doing wacky shit with lighting. Yeah, he did go crazy. And this is just one little portion, guys. I'll fly up in a minute and you'll see just how crazy this dungeon is. I'm just over in this one section. This is one section of several main sections. So this is then heading towards this cool area up here. Got ourselves a little badass room. This is the golf course, right? Yeah, so this is one of our golf courses for... Was it Monsters and Mulligans? Our new game that we're going to pivot to really quick. Oaknut Pinecone, thank you for the Prime sub. We gotta make an adjustment on that. We wanted a glow for the water. Yeah. So it'd be nice if we can figure out some sort of new water shader and then a glow for the water. But it may not be this glow. I just happened to copy the bright whiteness that was already here and made a shitload more light emitters. But yeah, I made this area up here green because why not make it a bit more interesting looking, and there's some like naturey magic shit going on up in this area. I think the more colored lights we can get in, the better. That's one of my favorite things about the old dungeons. Isan, thank you for 28 months, dude. How you doing today, brother? Fantasy lighting, exactly. So then, and we try to get some really nice, vistas and stuff. Rainy game day in Maine, right on. See a city in the background. As a design team, do you guys try to think about how many camps the players will be occupying in the dungeon, or is it something the players will decide organically? Just curious, never seen this side of the dev process. In my experience, it tends to be kind of a back and forth. It'll be a thing where sometimes you'll go into a dungeon and you'll have some pretty specific numbers in mind, especially once we're all more familiar with the game. Excuse me. In the past, it's been kind of a mix of what do we think, how many do we think we need to support, given the number of available dungeons, the number of players that are within a given level range, and then what's the hardware or what's the tech support comfortably, those types of things. For us, we're kind of, honestly, a lot of it we're kind of winging and just trying to figure out feel. Like this is it may not seem like it, this is a very big dungeon. And so, I think we're going to find that there are a number of...
Put me in, coach.
Right on. Thank you, VidSnap. Appreciate 2 months. I started early, Maze, because Jasmine was like, I gotta get up at 5 in the morning. So I was like, maybe I just start early and see how long we go. So Tel Ekir looked insane. I'm having, like, the longer I spend in here and like doodle and stuff with propping and lighting and stuff, the more I'm like falling in love with this place. It's just, there are these moments where I remember to look up and I'm just like, oh man, it's dope. So the mix of like lights and dark spots and all this stuff has been a lot of fun. Zima said, my favorite examples of EQ fantasy lights are Neriac and Running Eye. Felt like it really helped. Yeah, there's so many good examples. Like you can hop into Lantern Dungeon Viewer and just get reminded of all the fun colors. Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but I also know things will be changing, so I'm not going to say too much about certain things. We're playing around with the volume here to sort of change lighting as we go in and out, so we'll make adjustments there. Water looks like it came from the pool in Maniac Mansion. It is a bit placeholder. All right, so we're gonna go to a different part of the dungeon. Though there is something I do like about getting blasted with this white light. There is something there. So I'll be curious to see what the shader light, the final shader light combo winds up being for us here. Can I jump there? I can. Okay. Now there is a pool, and down there is a hole to swim through and get around to other areas, but kind of creeps me out a little bit. So we're gonna take a different route. There are a number of underwater things going on in here already. So this is a different area. There'll be a bit of a different theme as we get more props and stuff in. This is more of this wonderful magical water comes in here and it makes it very fertile, and there's great fishing. And things growing and nuclear reactors. Yeah, and there are nuclear reactors here. So up here you get a little bit better view of things. Oppenshira, that is hilarious. Will we start KOS to these guys? Yeah, most people will start KOS to them. And then depending on what you do early on, you may firm that up a bit. All right, I think, am I invulnerable? Okay. Let's hop back down. I just did a little Minecraft run in the air as I fell. All right. So yeah, we've got here. Let me fly. Maybe the easiest thing to do. Well, yeah, let me fly in a second. That'd make a nice Airbnb. What, the place up there? I think I said Inquisitor is more of a tank with CC abilities, CC utility. I might be wrong, but that is what I think I said. All right. We had a hype train going. Appreciate all the support, y'all. I'm gonna die so many times in here. Probably, and there's probably gonna be some decent trains, I hope. So we'll hop down here. We'll head to a different area. Phil, what's up, buddy? Thank you for 33 months. Every time I see your name, I think about that evening that we played you, me, and Nick, I believe, in Chardock. Yeah, so this is the entrance, actually. So you'd be coming in here. How safe is it to induce a medical coma until this game comes out? Not sure. I can just wait around. Wouldn't it be a bummer if you got put into a medical coma and you basically were aware of everything, you just couldn't do anything? It'd be even worse. You couldn't even tell somebody to, like, turn the stream on. So don't do that. Just be patient. Hang out in here. So, some early camps up in here. Oh, I meant to show you the whole other thing. That's a Dark Questline idea. So, yeah, we've got these camps around here, and then down and in the inside there's actually where they've been plundering. And so so when they're attacking caravans and stuff out in the desert, they bring all their stuff in here. So lots of plunder. And we'll come out up top here in a sec, and then we'll go over. So it's all, that's kind of the theme in here that we'll be working with. Yeah, here's the barrel room from last week. We got to put the drunken Ashira in. Thanks, Phil. There's a horror film idea in there somewhere. Oh man, don't even say it. Oh. My wife keeps trying to get me to watch this like one horror movie. I'm like, I'm good without that in my life. I get spooked easily. Hey, that's a nice little jackal statue. I was like, you know what? I was digging through props to see what all I could grab, and I was like, oh yeah, there are those statues that Amy had made. So I was like, grabbing some Luna statues. And then there's supposed to be some water down here. So I was like, can we do funky colors? Just kind of a reminder. And again, since I set it up, it's bleeding all over the place. There's blue everywhere now. All right, so then we come out up top here. Best area was a room full of young Ashira. You can get your Anakin RP fix. Consider that. I mean, there's a lot of young and placeholders around, right? So let's run through here. And then we'll see the blue lights kind of illuminating this as well on accident, but I kind of like it, but it's not correct. VidSnap said something a friend and I were discussing. An EQ bard slow was solid, but you almost always wanted a shaman or enchanter for the best possible slow. Will Inquisitors see that kind of issue as well, being able to slow or haste, but never being ideal source for that in group play? Oh, I don't know. More of a Nick question. I think the idea is for each class to have enough of its own identity that while there is some flex and overlap in areas, I think we're not afraid. Inquisitor does not have slow or haste at the moment. So that answers that specific question. Yeah. Boom. And I'm not 100% sure of the state of enchanters either. But again, those are... if you're not in our Discord, when you have questions like this, really a better place is Discord. Nick can hop into stuff there. Nick said, Inquisitors are feeling quite nice as tanks though, but they will have more of an anti-cancer approach while having some baseline enchanter spells like Mez and PBAE, point blank area effect, stun. So this area here now, it's dark because I haven't spent hardly any time in here. But maybe we can get into it in a little bit. This area is where the goblins have taken over. So this area of the zone will have lots of silly ass little goblins, and their little goblin tents and their little goblin stuff. And they do not get along with the Ashira and vice versa. So there's a little bit of conflict there. Let me see how this works. Does this work? All right. Little rickety goblin. Toss this together because it seemed like the kind of logic that goblins would use. Did Black Burrow have a presence in multiple EQ installments? I thought it was in both EQ and EQ2. Oh shit, Appel. I did not pass the test. Alright, let's fly so that we can get to some other places now. And then essentially, as I was saying, there's some real... Oh, the sun's coming up, which is a nice kind of effect. Since this is an indoor-outdoor dungeon, when you're outside, you do get the benefit of the day-night cycle, making the place feel a little different. And we'll likely have some content feeding off of that as well. So the dungeon's actually pretty big and leads to a Tel Ekir B, like basically a second dungeon And when you start to go into some of these areas, you'll find your way down in there, and it is quite a maze. So we won't go too far. It hasn't been worked on too much on the prop side. Yeah, definitely. No worries, Nick. I started, when I started adding campfires and stuff, I started moving some guys around, but I haven't done much here other than start to like put up more spike barriers and stuff. I've been saving this basically for last because I think it's going to be a fair bit of work, and it'll benefit from having more of the goblin props done. So it's like, oh, the longer it takes me to get to here, the more stuff we'll have to play with. And you'll probably see some goblin Ashira conflict going on in this no man's land area as well. Yeah, so let me show you two more things, and then I think that'll wrap the tour up. One is here, so I don't have to go to it naturally. Just like a nice little pocket area. Place is pretty cool. You can see the moons and stuff through here. It's pretty neat, depending on the time of night. Give it a little glow. Decorated real nice. Thank you, Sparrow. Did you see the decked out area? So the last thing I want to show. So that was one thing. And then the last thing I want to show is, because you asked earlier about like being able to faction up with the Ashira. We've been looking at having one area that's a little bit more out of the way. Be a place that you can then get to and then do stuff like work with their merchants or their trade skillers, and they've even got a little bank and stuff like that. So let's see if I can get up there naturally. Nope, this is... Oh, I added some people here. Let me reload the data set. See if I can see them. There you guys are. So this that goes down there. So that's not what I'm looking for. Like, whatever's in there, stay back. I think I get up here from... Oop. Fly. I will forever be known as someone that can never find his way around any dungeon, no matter how much work he puts into it. You can see yourself dying up there tons. How'd the barrel room turn out? Need to go back and add some more lights to it. Or some lights to it. But we've got a lot of barrels in there. So that part has been successful. How do I get down there? Is there a down somewhere? Need to add more mimics. What's the expected level range? What was it, Nick? Like 8 to 40 or something between the two? Don't let me speak out of turn. $8 to 30. Okay, cool. but that could change as we mold the level ranges. Here we go. I think I found it. I found it. Okay. Cool. Once you're allied with them, then this will be a little bit easier. And we're going to light up some of these rooms and put some stuff in there. So this is just a ledge. And then we'll come over here and you can see kind of just out of the way kind of spot. Up. Yep. Placeholder merchants and... Cool. The question was, will race class combos be restricted based on the lore of the races, or will it be all? The response was restricted. Do you create certain areas and zones anticipating it to be camped spot? And if so, were there camps in EQ that developed you never thought about being a camp? Yes and yes. I think the more time we spent on the game as developers, the more we started thinking with camps in mind. Right, because we'd have a pretty decent idea that if there's a named that's got loot that you want or whatever in an interesting spot, then we could construct sort of the spawns of those in that particular area with that in mind, within a nice pull radius around each of the camps. So yeah. So it became more and more of a thing that we factored in, but like early EQ, it really wasn't considered as much. How many dungeons do you guys have in concept right now? Even ones that are just on paper that haven't been modeled yet? The ones that they're kind of firm, we've got Wormsbane, we've got this one, Tel Ekir, A and B, and we've got Fallen Watch. Then we've got some like smaller kind of open world overland pocket dungeons. Like there are a couple spaces that you can discover in Night Harbor itself. We've got some ideas for some other things that may be linked. We've got a number of like far off dungeons and lore, but the ones that are more like proof of concept focused are the three that I mentioned with stuff. Nick said we've got 2 other dungeons planned, including the B version of this dungeon and green glowing Falling Watch that you can see on the mountain top from Night Harbor. Yep. There's a lot of dungeon ideas on our map and of the region though. Yeah, there's one of the, trust me, that's the ideas part's not the problem. Getting everything made. This region's got a ton of stuff that we could potentially go live and years later come back and sort of reveal things that you've been walking by or over for quite a while. And that kind of gets into our philosophy of, rather than just always building out, like build depth into our existing world. So you're not just all fleeing off to other continents and never seeing each other again. Any plans for a tower-like dungeon similar to Kern's Tower? Always enjoy that one. If you have run through the glass flats at any point, or if anybody ever during a playtest runs through glass flats, I think you'll see the answer to that one. But basic answer is massive pigs. Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. So I think we've shown off everything that we want to show off here. So now let's actually do some stuff. So pop out of here, but it's just so like cozy in here that I kind of don't. I'm like, do I have to leave the lit version? Is that water glowing? It is glowing very hard. Cool. All right. So to be cool to Pattis, I've tried to organize all of this stuff pretty nicely. So even within here, we've got subdirectories, so we kind of know where props have been placed. Mortis says, I believe being able to camp anywhere to increase monster spawns and rare spawns, as well as set up crafting utilities such as cooking pot, etc., would be an improvement on the formula. Does that preclude... So, I always have concerns when there's manipulation of things like spawn rates, because as designers, we probably need to then assume that people are always going to shoot for the optimal, and so we've got to tune around that. But then what does suboptimal feel like? If there's variance, player-driven variance, and like how the spawns work. But I think some amount of variance might work in certain situations. Now, if you're saying like you can make certain things spawn anywhere, that always gets a bit hinky. There's something there's really something deeply rooted, at least in my psyche, about camps. You learn the names of camps, even, yeah, I mean, they're typically player made, but as soon as you know, like, hey, we're over at KFC, or hey, we're sitting here at Fireplace, or whatever, they become these like really iconic, you know, pieces of the experience. And then having the ability to storytell, right? Like, you know, the barkeep spawns in the little bar area, right? And has an apron that you want, and that type of stuff. Like, I think it's all part of the environmental storytelling. So that's why from like day one, we like camps. We were playing P99 together a bunch, and just some of the, you know, some of the raddest memories I have of the last like 3 or 4 years come from, again, playing like EQ and sitting there. A lot of nights it was like just duos with Nick, right? Or it'd be me, Nick, and Ollie, or we get some people from the stream in with us, and we're just camping, you know, 1 or 2 camps. Or I like the camp progression where it's like, oh, all right, we can't get into this better camp yet, and we really want to get there, but main room is open or whatever, right? That type of thing where it's just like, all right, I'm going to sit here, and as soon as the opportunity comes, then we're going to move up and say, oh, it's our turn to hop in, right? And so there's just something about that formula that's just fucking great, you know? It's relaxing. It's like this, got a stressful day or a hard day at work or whatever, you come home and you know you're going to plop down and you're going to have this nice rhythmic, not overly crazy actions per minute, kind of got to be on top of my rotation. No, you got this nice tactical but rhythmic shit spawning, getting pulled, killing it. I'm sitting at my camp once I get there, like I know what to expect. I'm like looking forward to get to that camp. You know, it's just, oh man, there's just something about it, right? So camping is I think it's just a underrated part of the formula. May says, my favorite thing is when the pulling becomes a rhythm, kind of therapeutic. Absolutely. Just like, boom. It kind of, and it builds, right? It's like, you know, a yuppie drum circle. It's like, it just gets, you get more and more into it. As long as I don't have to pull, I'm good. Man, I use streaming as my excuse not to pull, but like, I pulled a bit on my bard on Aerodune. And man, once you get going, it's just like, that's kind of fun too. It's just like, because you get that rhythm, right? Check the room, boom, 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 check the room, boom, boom, boom. So, I don't know. Teach your own. Nicodemus, thank you for your continued generosity. How are you doing, my friend? 2 gift subs. Tannhauser and Krull. Congrats. The Crone asks, will there be incentives to level factions for certain enemies? For example, leveling faction for a shear because certain caster spells are only purchasable from one of their vendors. Do you think that's too punishing for the average player, especially for something that's like essential spells? For essential spells, probably too much. I think for some flavor stuff, some variation on stuff, some stuff with maybe a different skin. So it's kind of like that item, but it looks different. I think that's you know, that's kind of what we're looking at. And then it's also, you know, some just kind of interesting, get some different content. You have a different potentially base of operations and stuff. So to answer your questions, yeah, there'll probably be some different things. You know, everything's got to be incentivized. Otherwise, it's just folks aren't going to be that into it. But the degree to which it's incentivized will be the thing that we've got to kind of hammer out. Fielder asked, yeah, I was just going to ask if there is something like random encounters been considered, perhaps preceded by an audio cue like drums or dragon chains or something to ramp up tension in certain dungeons, maybe something rare, random encounter that people hear about, but it's super rare and hoped for, not at all. It's funny, there'll be some stuff that feels random, but there'll probably be some interesting logic behind the scenes, like where are you when, what do you have in your possession, who are you with, those types of things. Maybe play around with that as well. And we may just do some true random shit, but the majority of the game is going to be, you know, focused on kind of traditional camps. There's actually, I will say there's already something that was tossed in here that is just based off a very specific kind of time of night. And there may be another element to that. Something else has got to be present in order for the timing to work. So we'll be playing with more and more of that stuff. That's something we really need to get hammering on as a design team, layering in more of that stuff. We've got the tools for it now, and it's not super hard in terms of the actual implementation. Many of the games with the most meaningful and nostalgic maps in my head were games with camps like that, Quicksana said. Yep. May says learning on the spawns, geo that you can split with, tricks to single pull, etc. Yeah, and I mean that's how you also like earn your rep as somebody that people want to group with. Hey Brex, what's going on, buddy? That chill play is real. I remember being on Talonzek waiting for downers to open up. If it was full, my friends would hang out in War 6 Woods. Yeah, I mean, when people are like, you know, when people talk about EverQuest as a game, as an inspiration, maybe it's just my lack of experience, but when I look at the way that other games of the era functioned a bit differently, so like just the different feel of the content in Dark Ages of Camelot, Asheron's Call felt very different, I think. Maybe Final Fantasy XI felt a little bit more like that. Am I wrong on that? Didn't play a shitload, but there's just something that, you know, EQ did differently in that sense. And so I don't think, you know, these aren't copyrighted, trademarked sort of concepts. It's just a game. It's the way the game worked, and other games decidedly didn't do that. I mean, hell, even when I was on the EQ team, we were kind of getting away from some of that because we were wanting to improve on the formula. But the formula is fucking great. So, and as I've gotten older and thought about it and worked on other games over the years, I dig the formula. And it's not exclusive to EQ, it's just other games decidedly didn't do it for the most part. So when people are like, you know, why would you emulate that? Because it's a cool experience. I like waiting to get into a camp, and it's sitting in a camp, and then, you know, the sort of the pulls around the camp and getting the rhythm that we were just talking about and all that. So I don't know, man. Triggers based on who you're with. Do you mean like if the group brings a paladin, it might trigger something? Yeah, I mean, we've got a number of. I mean, we can run conditionals all the way down, you know, for like mud actions and stuff. Now we can look and see what buffs are on you. All sorts of interesting stuff, right? So there'll be more of those little bit of puzzles. I think a little while back, I was showing you when we finally got the buff conditional on mud actions. Was showing you there's a room with when you look, you see a painting, and when you inspect the painting without like see invis, you see one painting, and if you've got see invis on, it gives you a different description. right? So there's little stuff that we can use on that front. We're going to be layering in more than just currently on spawners. We've got day night, and we've got time down to 15-minute in-game increments. And so we can have stuff like spawn at a specific time and then despawn, you know, a few minutes later. So that's not anything terribly new, but lunar cycle will be part of it. Seasons will be a part of it. World state, we can already do some stuff with triggers. And I think we can establish and save conditions. So there's a lot of that type of stuff. That's why we're doing things like having the having the mud actions be / commands with so many different verbs. Like what was it? I asked the community, we were talking about it a couple streams ago, if anybody asks how this game's different, just say you can / rub, you can / pull, and you can / taste. And those are all verbs that do stuff in our game, right? We got a lot of / commands, so you can rub, pull, and taste amongst many other things, but I figured those are at least an interesting start. Hyper, thank you for the follow. Can you randomize some of the spawn variables? I wouldn't say randomize those. You can have those then trigger things that are then randomized inherently. Decrow. Yeah, see, exactly. What are the outputs for those / commands used on PCs and PCs? It can output. It typically outputs text to either the local area or to the specific PC, but it can trigger just a shitload of things. So the outputs from mud actions can be, it can give you items, it can exchange items. So like we have one that is a, let me get something better looking for you to look at while I do all my rambling. So you can basically, if you've got charcoal and a parchment, you can rub it across like an engraving in a certain area, and it will consume the parchment and the charcoal and give you basically a rubbing of the engraving. So we can consume items, give you new items, we can cast spell effects, we can trigger things, we can trigger spawns, we can apply effects to you. I already said that. So Bitsnap, which mud do you play? I've dabbled with Genesis mud. I need to get back in there. Did I work on Vanguard? Nope. I was working on EQ when everybody left to go to Vanguard. That's actually how I got my job. I was like a full-time design apprentice, and then the design team all quit and went to Vanguard, and I became full-time. Thinking of all the writing to do for each NPC as a response to each action. Oh, every action doesn't. The actions are very specific. So like if you run around / rubbing NPCs, they don't do anything. Now we may throw one in there where if you / rub an NPC, it might trigger something, but for the most part, it's environmental interaction, and it's limited. You volunteer for the decorating crew? Boo, make them all react. Oh, you know what a feat that will be. So let me look and see what this guy looks like at half size. I wonder if that also makes the light smaller. I bet it does. Yep, I'm still listening, YouTube. Maybe they don't do anything the way you rub them, but I've got the magic touch, VidSnap says. I bet you do. What did I think about Vanguard? Hyper, I thought it was, as usual, it had some really cool ideas in it. It was way too ambitious. And that led to it being pretty buggy and unoptimized when I tried to play it on the machine that I had at the time. But there was a ton of good ideas in there. But it was the same guys, and I'm still friends with some of them, and I like the guys. But it was the guys that worked on Luckland right before that, and again, Luckland had a ton of good ideas in it. It's just it was too ambitious and couldn't get finished.
21 months? Where does the time go?
Thank you for 21 months, Nicodemus. Honestly, I could have sworn you've been around even longer, but yeah, it goes by fast. To me, you feel like one of the super OGs at this point. Oh, no. Come here. Get over here. Bitsnap said 3 Kingdoms, been playing it since late 90s in high school. Nice. So have you been playing with a lot of the same people, or have you been playing that mud but like on different servers with different folks and stuff? What I could do is just to ensure that all of them are the right size, what I'll do is, excuse me, I'll just grab all these and we'll go 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And thank you, Unity, for translating my comma to a decimal, to an actual dot. Because I've got this foreign-ass keyboard that just thinks that a numpad should have a comma on it for some reason. Because they use commas for decimals here and decimals for commas. They're pretty wild. What the frick happened so that my little my little gizmo here is now it's all crooked. It's all crooked ass. Hey Reaper, going good. You missed it a little bit later. We'll come back in and we'll look. We'll take a look at this when it's lit. It's pretty when it's lit. Let's see, what did I miss? Met some of your closest friends from there, and we all dip in and out over the years, but still same group. That's fantastic, man. I think that's super cool. Bitsnap's talking about the mud that to play on. Nick Demons asked, when placing lighting object, do you combine an ambient sound to the light object, crackle a torch, or does it have to be placed separately? Yeah, we got that as well. So if we look, each one of these torches is this prefab. So it's composed of, here, let's actually look at it. So this is the prefab. It's composed of this object. It's got a W-wise positional sound emitter on it. It's got a smoke effect. The two quad planes, the two quads, the two planes, and the flickering light. All of that's attached here. And John in the earlier stream, like last week, showed me that I could make my own little prop palette. And so essentially I can just pull out of our project directory and put on this palette our objects. And so then I can, the way it works is like if, let's go somewhere. One of these rooms needs it needs a barrel. It needs barrels everywhere. So, I'm just basically, I'm like Donkey Kong. I'm just putting barrels everywhere. So if I drag this out and into here, boom, got a barrel. Now it goes right up here, which isn't necessarily where I want it to go. So if I'm working in this area, like the central area here, what I can do is make this the default, set as default parent. I'll throw it in there. And so in theory, if I put another barrel in here, now if I click duplicate, it'll duplicate it in the same directory. So that's nice. Hey, John. But say if I want to put a different barrel in here, this open barrel. So I pull it out of my palette and then it puts it in the correct directory, which is now the default parent. So I learned those things last week from one of our programmers, John. Often in here as, I always just say Pilgrim, but I think it's the Pilgrim one. But anyway, that's John. So now, a lot of these prefabs have lights, but I also came in here and just added some more lights. Like I put tons of lights in here just to play around and make it look kind of pretty. So it's super unoptimized, but then, you know, those are separate light objects. Oh, the Pilgrim Run right there. Shit. I was just talking about you, not realizing you're giving me even more information. The gizmo might be wonky because you're in global mode instead of local mode. Look where it says global. Yep. That might be it. For some reason, I went up and was screwing around with center instead of pivot. But I think my brain was telling me to look here. Let me go back to a torch and see if that fixed it. I was gonna make a joke, Dragon, but then I realized it might be a little too spicy for the wonderful, pleasant chat that we've established here. So I was like, oh, maybe that's too spicy. Thank you, John. That was absolutely it. You just made my life easier again. John, I was just telling everybody about how wonderful the dev palette is. You know, we've got some very nice, wholesome people in here, so I can't make the jokes that immediately come to mind. You gotta watch out. The team's starting to see a little bit of my spicier side. I'm like, oh shit, I bet I should probably rein that in. Wholesome? That's a joke in itself. I don't know. I think some of you are wholesome. Some folks. I've even had people like tell me that they're watching on their TV while their spouses are cooking and all sorts of shit. If I can't rub a genie lamp and get one wish, I'm gonna be upset. We've talked about that in relation to the mud actions. It'd be cool if you could create barrel roll trap along the catwalk for players to jump over. Rogues could disarm the trap. Did you, Dark Inside, you're pulling my leg. You didn't say hello earlier. Don't even lie. Don't act like you said hello. You didn't say hello. No, for a fact you didn't say hello. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Read your chat, bro? Mm-mm. Misinformation. See? I'm the authority here, so I get to decide whether or not it happened. Misinformation. You said a good afternoon? I'm not sure that you did. If you keep trying to misinform the people in here, we may have to take action. Stop gaslighting you. I can't. I'm an authority. It's my job to gaslight you. It's how I derive pleasure. Ugh. I have had messages sent get lost in chat. After a few seconds, I get the welcome to chat message. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Let me scroll up. Yep, totally did not just see that underneath. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad I scrolled up because Talking Seagull Lawyer, I actually want to respond to that. So Talking Seagull Lawyer said right above where Dark Inside totally did not say hello, good afternoon. Well, you know what? My information changed. I've now determined that you did say hello after all. And I've never said you didn't say hello. So, Talking Seagull Lawyer said, I keep hearing Laura Palmer's theme from Twin Peaks in this part of the track. It was the inspiration. No bullshit. When we were talking about Wormsbane's tomb, Robert was like, you know, what's some good inspiration? And it was like, the Twin Peaks Laura Palmer song. Is that the weirdest request you've ever had for inspiration for a dungeon song? He was like, oh, I like it. And came back and completely murked it. Like, it's so good. It was... It's a fluid situation. Hellos are something we have to keep an eye on, Sparrow. Rapidly evolving. Do you think inspect would end up functioning like the left mouse button click, or do you expressly want to keep it an active button click to force the thought of that looks funny? So we have look, we've got a button for look. Inspect is a slash command, but you can make your own macros. Later on, we might wind up making like a button bank of mud actions and maybe do something with looking at, is there a better sort of window activation for that type of thing? And we've got some mud actions that, oh, I'm sorry, did you say something, Dark Inside? So we've got ideas for potentially making it so that things like when we force a mud action on you, because you can enter a volume and it'll fire off the look on its own. Then yeah, so that and NPC interaction and stuff. Dark Inside's still in here? Sorry, I actually distracted myself with trying to think of smart ass shit to say to Dark Inside. And see, that's karma. Instant karma right there. I'm sorry, Dark Inside. I'm sorry. I completely distracted myself. I just started rambling. Yeah, we do. So Nick just said we do have things that are interactive with clicks, like mining nodes and ground spawn objects. So ground spawn objects might interact with left click. As of about 4 hours ago, I was still trying to figure out whether or not they worked. So that's still a mystery. I wonder if this did make all of these, if it shrank the light, it had to have shrank the light source along with the model. So I might want to hop in here in a second and see what effect that had. So I'll hit save. I'm sorry for picking on you, Dark Inside. But you do get a little demanding. Not zone settings. That's not what I wanted. They're going to be a Twin Peaks Easter egg in that dungeon? Did not think that far ahead. Maybe have an NPC, gnome NPC that walks backwards. That'd be cute. It'd be hard to pull off though. Oh, so those of you that have just come in recently, despite the fact that you were late, you should just be here on time next time. We'll show you halflings. So let's... Because they're awesome. And because people asked last time, let me bring it up again. If you want to see their face, little halfling eyes. Sean is super spicy today. Yeah, I woke up this morning and it was a random day where I had a little extra spice in my cereal. And then I've had this wonderful cactus fruit flavored Red Bull. Wait, that's kind of creepy. Where are his eyes with that hair? Right here. They're under the hair. It's one hairstyle. Simmer down. And then female. Lady halflings. Got some nice curves. Let's see. Oh, do the hair colors work now? I could have sworn I tried like some of the customization stuff and I didn't think it was hooked up, Zukin. Skin colors. Oops, hair color. Oh nice, it does, it does. See? Foot hairs, head hairs. As one of our commenters said earlier, the carpet matches the drapes. Eye colors? Yeah, let me change eye colors. I'm just messing with you. What? They were talking about the feet hairs and the head hairs, right? I've never heard that phrase before, so I assume that's what it means. Droop says, really changes the look of the models with proper eyes. Yeah, proper eyes. I think they're charming as hell. I was telling the guys, like, this overall look, it's one of my, I think, one of my favorites, like player character models to date. Just, it's got a lot of charm to it. Now, I didn't play a lot of halflings in EQ, but I did have a crush on female halflings in EQ. Like, legit, actual crush on them. They seem really cozy and nice. And they had some, you know, they had the curves. They were a little short. Barefoot. All those things a country boy likes. Please enable monk for that race. Thanks, Brex. Any idea what the fourth race added will be? Well, I mean, we've got goblin NPCs. I don't know how far Zukin's going to take them. We'll have a need for that. We can do placeholders. We've got some dwarven NPCs, but I don't know that we're going to do dwarves anytime soon. Really, it's going to come down to, I think, it's going to come down a bit to what on the player character side. If we go north, then we'll probably need to start tapping some elves. But I mean, we're making pretty good progress in general on player characters. So, do halfling females trim their feet? Little strip or heart shaped, asking for a friend. Nicodemus asked. Oh, I don't know if Zukin, if he's gonna put in different foot hair options. That might be cute though. Totally gonna act like I don't know what you're talking about. Any animations for the hair yet? I don't believe so. I know that it's not in here, but Zukin was also messing with the female ogre, and that is a strong looking character. I mean, just strong. Alright, so Interworld. So we can look at these, see what the changes, the en masse changes of the torches did to their light potency. Excuse me. Brex said 70s style hobbits the way Tolkien envisioned. Alrighty. Touche. He was at Cambridge in the 60s. Fair enough. If you read up on Gygax, Gary Gygax was a player. Man, he rolled a natural 20 on the freaky dice. Jintaki said, strong, independent ogres don't need no man. Absolutely not. Are armor set up for halfling clothes set for a new model or just base character at this point? I don't know. Is it set up in Zukin? I mean, all of that stuff should work seamlessly. I know when they were prototyping, they were working through the geo with different textures in mind, I thought. Yeah, cool. So it looks like brightness is not affected. Perfect. And they look a ton better. Oh, shit. For whatever reason, they liked me less than everybody else in the zone. I guess I should have turned my aggro off. Didn't shout train. I didn't need to shout train. There was no... They vaporized me. Apparently you don't want to screw around with the merchants. and then respawn in Sungreet, where, oh yeah, somebody bound me in a weird area, I think. That was always fun. Zone Tel Ekir. Aggro off, invulnerable on. I'll have to tone down the merchant damage a bit. 475, 694, 12. A youngling hits me for 12. 731. Who was it? It was the guy that was with Arsenio Hall in Harlem Nights that had the single shooter. If you get that movie reference. Did I get a defense skill up? I did. 22. Alright. It's so dark they knocked your lights out? Yeah. If I look up, it's not so dark. And before you think about it, chat, you can't charm them. What? It's almost like you think people in chat would try to exploit stuff, Nick. Will there be space alien mobs? I am not allowed to tell you that. The lizardman warned me against saying anything. Spellbook is item left on the corpse. It is, Hermit. Don't worry, there's some tricks to that. There are. We have witnessed our first raid mob. The merchants. Yeah. Good luck with them. You can have more than one book too. Keep that in mind. Yeah, you can have more than one book on you at a time. So when you die, you can leave multiple books on your corpse. How is this game different than EverQuest? You can leave multiple books on your corpse. You can rub. You can taste. You can pull. I mean, how is it similar to EverQuest? Jeez, guys. Do 10 minutes worth of research. That will be on the FAQ. EQ lets you rub? No, it does not. You can emote. You can rub me all you want. It's not getting you into friends and family. It'll just be a one rub stand. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to tell you that until after you finished rubbing. Dude, look how sharp that shadow is. That's when you know we're probably using too crazy of lights. It's not called Friends, Family, and Lovers. Yeah, sorry, side piece. You can rub all you want on a stream, but I'm not taking you to the picnic. Will Ashura younglings be susceptible to dismemberment? What kind of game do you think we're doing here? Star Wars game? Burb01 says friends, family, and hoes. Well, for some families, they're not mutually exclusive, right? Alright, so it looks like we've got no problem with torches. And I just wanted to come back in here and show you how pretty this is. Goblin said, Tel Ekir is coming together. God damn. Yeah, buddy. The more you guys crank on those props, the more we'll get them in here as well. What's going on, Goblin? It's funny because Twitch tells me, first time chat, Burb001, friends, family, and hoes. It's like, that is a way to make an entrance. Goblin said, I'll start exploring stuff today. Yeah. Oh, Sparrow, I think earlier said something about murals. Goblin's actually been doing some murals. Some cool Ashira murals. We've got some Goblin finger painting on walls because that's what they do. Speaking of which, where's Fecal Finger Paint been? I've not seen them in a while. You're out there lurking. We miss you. Nicodemus says, when casters sit to study spells, can you have the spell book open in front of the player and have the book open with a faint magical aura to let people know they're in their book? Excuse me. A couple of people have brought that up, and I think we have the ability to do it. So, Goblin said, we got fish and vines that are ready for placement. Is the warding pylons in? No. I've added none of that new stuff in yet so far. Haven't tested this myself yet, but how does aggro work if enemy is on a ledge and you're below them? I think it depends on line of sight and how far below them you are, Keith. How many backer bucks to have a /tasted cookbook in game as a prop? I have to think about it. Inquisitor class gets a bonus when attacking younglings. Oh, that is fantastic. Jintaki, I like the way you're thinking. Add crank mode to the game. Slash crank. Brex. The Crow Robot, can you shine any light on why the dungeon is called Tel Ekir? Random syllables, or is there a story behind it? There is a story behind it. This area actually has a extremely long history and is all I'm going to say, because you'll learn the rest in game, is the Ashira did not build this. They moved in later, kind of like the Egyptians in the pyramids. Any Egyptians out there, I'm sorry, but you know it's true. And then as you're in here, you'll learn more about the history of this specific area. But the name Tel Ekir is more recent. It used to have other names. So, but that's also why they don't necessarily go super deep into some of these areas. They really do prefer the outdoors, but this is pretty convenient. But they make use of like lit up certain areas of it, but then as you go deeper into this city that's carved out of stone, you'll find it gets darker and darker and creepier, and that's not counting the areas that the goblins have also moved into. So. These rooms are missing barrels. I better get to work. Oh man, I love getting in here and just kind of like propping away, or as we now call it, dungeon decorating away. Put on some good music, chillax and I was telling Sparrow. I was telling Jasmine about that. Telling my wife that we call it dungeon decorating now. It's like all these years I've never considered that. Fake walls, hidden rooms. Actually, I don't know that there's many fake walls and hidden rooms yet. We'll have to talk to Pattis about that. But there's definitely some. There's a lot of obscure rooms. Do you envision a bigger role for the Ashir yet, or are they seen as just a low-level bad guy for low-level dungeons? Can you see them being used in a higher-level dungeon as well? Well, I mean, this dungeon definitely goes up to sort of mid-level. You may see more of them later. But they're not just a bad guy. I mean, they're actually not that bad of guys. You can kill them if you want, but you can also become their friends. They're not like horrible. They're just angsty and misunderstood, yeah. All right. So is Tel Ekir the main Ashira city? It is. Will languages be a thing? They are a thing. Let me bring up my you guys. Let me bring up my you guys again. Languages. I'm currently only using Common Tongue though. The Ashira language will be something that you'll be able to learn though. Oaknut said, my two go-tos are trolls and froglocks. Unfortunately, no froglocks, so we are back to halfling, dwarf for good guys. If we could just snap our fingers and make shit instantly, would love to make an expansion entirely for Zukin. That is, and for me, I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to act like it was a gift, but I really just, I've been wanting to do it. With a lot of different like amphibian and reptile races. Oh man, there are these tiny. I saw an image. Let me see if I can find it again. It had a reference image that. Let me see. Can I find it? Reference. There are these little frog dudes that I saw that are the cutest damn things. And there's no like, you've got to do more than just one frog or one lizard. Honestly, to do it right, because there's so many different body types and shit. The frog necro, yeah, that little one. Oh my gosh, I'm so into it. I wish I could find it. Anime Cat Girl expansion. I guess if we really need the money. If we feel like we're just not getting enough millennials in. Where are the... Where are the images? Where did I hide them? Pushes my dog. Oh. Yeah. Where are these guys? As many times as I've shown this damn thing, I can't believe it's so hard for me to find it. Oh, I'll be here all night trying to find it. Reference, getting warmer. Why do I have a folder labeled questionable? What is in here? There's nothing in there. Okay. Whew. Scared myself. It's like reference art for different player races, and one was just questionable. Mazes posts, yeah. Oh. Monster reference? That seems right. Rat people. Finally! It took forever, but found them. I would play a tiny frog. I would play a tiny frog that looks like this in a heartbeat. It's some Justin Gerard art. I mean, if you thought I'd roleplay a shithead as a gnome, oh my god. Who goes there? Look at this guy. He is a baller. Got a fairy trapped in there. Oh my goodness. Goblin's like, look at that hunch. Goblin has such a hunch fetish. I mean, could you see these? Oh. Open a new window. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. So, remember these big old guys? It's one thing to see him with like a frog lock. But it's another thing. It's another thing when you see a giant ass golem like this with one of these little grumpers. Oh man. Little old dude. Who runs Bottertown? I almost said Finger Blaster. That was one of my coworkers. His wife started playing EverQuest, and she made a gnome wizard named Finger Blaster, and pretended to be shocked when her name got changed by the GM. She's like, "What? A wizard? I didn't think anything bad." Like, I'm not gonna lie, did think of her differently after that. I was like, you seem so normal. If you could summon cat girls, would they be necromancer? So, the only reason why I even know what you're talking about there is because you just explained it earlier. Otherwise, it was at that moment you knew she was marriage material. Well, she was already married, but it was at that moment that I realized she was a lot cooler than her husband. Make a wizard named Fireballs? I think that one would be less obvious. I guess one way to do this is just to go one by one. Nope, don't need to do those. Until you get the surname and put in my pants. Yeah, John. At that point, you will definitely get nuked. You guys think I'm kidding, but when the game is live, one of my favorite pastimes is going to be sitting down with a few beers or whatever I'm drinking that night, hopping into a game as a GM, and just looking for bad names to nerf. And when you ask to speak to my manager, I'm just going to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Oh yeah, maybe stream it. That would actually be a good stream. Name hunting. Have you considered making this an FPS instead? We may make like a FPS version before we go live and just and then try to monetize that as well. Yeah, after the golf version. Sean will be the GM unbanning inappropriate names for creativity. You mean I'll be the one banning appropriate names for lack of creativity? No. Finger Blaster, the FPS. Whoa now. Whoa now, Zemus. You're getting a little wild. We could call that Ball Blaster. I don't know that Ball Blaster is as good a golf name as Monsters and Mulligans. Still my favorite to date. Is Eminem ever going to move away from desert theme into different biomes? No. We're very into the Dark Sun aesthetic. So sorry, it's just probably going to be desert forever. All desert all the time. Maybe brushlands if we're feeling a little randy. What other games do you guys draw your inspiration from? A Tale in the Desert. Well, this is an interesting bug. Let me go ahead and hit save. Okay, Goblin. I'll do that. Don't let me forget, actually. Except that big old mountain. Did we show a big old mountain? Troll needs to be implemented so I can embrace my true self. I am not a troll. How dare you? Just because I've said some trollish stuff tonight. You know what? I got put in a frisky mood this morning. I am not a troll by nature. I am not a cat. You did and talked about falling down into a whole nother zone? Oh, you're right, I did. Now I remember that big ass mountain. That is definitely in our future. I don't know what's going on here. Let me reload the scene and see if that makes my life easier. Eminem double feature today? Hell yeah. Goblin stream coming up. Then we'll get Zukin to skip work call in sick, and then Zukin will go after Goblin. We'll do a triple hitter. All right. Why are you doing this? Unity is being crazy. Oh my gosh, this image popped up here and I was like, oh my. I was like, what is this image? Ah. Oh. Oh yeah, it's Sparrow. My boy Zukin has been slammed. That is the face of a pervert? What? That is a innocent looking little halfling face. How dare you? I think you're projecting. Put a tiny mustache on there? You mean like a thin one? Not like a little square one. I live in Germany. We don't discuss those. It's the fire in the background that makes him look evil. Ah, the John Waters, like, just penciled on mustache. Yes. John Waters, Baltimore's finest. Is that thunder outside? Man. Loving this European heat wave. Not everyone is a Charlie Chaplin fan. Correct. Man, Charlie Chaplin ruined it for everybody. Oh. Been getting crazy storms in Michigan the last couple of weeks. Whereabouts in Michigan are you? You don't have to dox yourself if you don't want to, Sparrow, but... Oh, wait. These haven't been updated. So let's do these. Southeast. I know very little about Michigan. Basically, I know a little bit of music from like the Motown sort of Detroit punk MC5 kind of evolution. But not very much else. Ted Nugent. It's from Michigan, right? Grand Funk Railroad. Fair. Eminem. Okay, that's true. Jack White. Kiss. Fair, fair. Nothing good has come from Kansas. Dorothy did. Dust in the Wind. Toto. Kansas came from Kansas, which I actually do like Kansas. So my work music earlier today, if we look, we go Spotify. Oh my gosh, my posture is so bad. I'm so slunched over. So what was I listening to earlier? Alan Parsons Project, Men at Work, yes. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Chicago, Dire Straits, Supertramp, Glenn Fry. The very 80s playlist. America, Simple Minds. I don't know if, let's see. Bad Company. Stopped before I got to some Jethro Tull, Steely Dan, Kraftwerk, Deep Purple, Pet Shop Boys, Tears for Fears, Midnight Oil, Survivor. Nope. That was it. It was one of those Spotify like randomly sort of like you take one song and have it do a little radio. It just, whenever I listen to 80s music, it reminds me of being a little kid again, and being a little kid again reminds me of how much I love crazy fantastical shit, which inspires me to work on crazy fantastical stuff. So nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It is. And when making a game that's very rooted in nostalgia, it doesn't hurt to be high on nostalgia. I do not agree with Biggie in that regard. I have no problems getting high on my own supply. I forget, what rule was that? Was that rule 5? I don't think there are any more torches this way. Got those already. It was mainly here, so. You thought that was Scarface? I think Scarface said so as well, but let me look it up. Yep, it's the 10 crack commandments. And or am I wrong? Number 4, know you heard this before, never get high on your own supply. Number 5, never sell no crack where you rest at. Don't care if they want an ounce, tell them to bounce. And there you go. These rooms need shelves, limited storage space, so someone can only have so many barrels. I think we're going to do, Goblin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're going to do some like painted, essentially the old school painted on shelves, like 2D where you got kind of like shelves and stuff inset or placed on the walls, and it's painted on. So we place them like decals. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're wall textures, but they're meant to depict like 3D stuff. Zukin's. Oh my gosh, Zukin. That little one is creepy. Oh my gosh, that's dope. Should I save it or should I show it, Zukin? Are you here? Are you listening? Go for it. You can share it. Nice. Halfling skeleton. Big halfling skeleton's super creepy. Little halfling skeleton is awesome though. Is that that's a decked out halfling, right? I swear that's like a halfling build, but I see the shoulders and other stuff. Nice. Female halfling plate. Thought so. Will there be any climbable walls in this zone? There's some ladders and stuff. I don't know if we're gonna have, when we put vines in, maybe we could have a little climbable wall. But I like that effect. Dude, that's dope. I'm excited. The glowy eyes are broken at the moment. I think Ollie's aware of it. I thought it was something to do with the same thing that's got our shader. Like the reason why I look like Darth Vader at night in game right now. I think it's all part of that shader changeover. Nick was saying earlier that that's. I thought Nick was saying that the eyes weren't glowing because of that. But I'm excited. I'm excited for two things in this image. Giant halfling skeleton's kind of weird, but female halfling in gear is funny. As soon as I saw her, I was like, "Yep, that's what it is." And then halfling skeleton is freaking cool. Yeah, I'm still I'm decorating really slowly because I'm streaming. I'm so slow on stream. I got so much shit done the last couple of days just because I'm sitting here zoned out listening to music. Once I get in here, I'm like, I'm too busy being a little smart ass. Thanks, babe. That's exactly what. You know me so well, little smart ass. The giant halfling skeleton is awesome too. Giant halflings as a concept are... What is it? It's a giant dwarf. Is that a human? What did I come in here? I was coming in here looking for something, and then I saw this and got distracted. What did I come in here for? Oh well. Please put extra effort into making halfling women cute. Bilbo, have you not seen the halfling woman so far? I'm showing it like twice tonight. Oh, I went in looking for the... Hey, first. Went in looking for the example of... went in looking for the example of 2D art that is really meant to represent 3D stuff. There are some great examples back in the day in EQ. So like an example would be... this old school style where it's just painted on. Like the old RPG days. So we're gonna try that out. Bilbo, halfling woman. Here, I'll show you. Can you paint it on but add some depth to it at all? We could experiment and see if we do want to do anything with like height mapping with that, but have you seen these, Jasmine? Here. New character. Aha! That mustache is just, he's sassy. Every time I see that mustache on basically anybody, I'm like, definitely sassy. Hey, BMC. So, halfling male. Halfling female. Halfling hair color. Updating the feed as well. And where is my mind? Where is my mind? Scrolling. Okay, and then oops. Boom. Sideburns. Halfling monks will be a thing. You never know what may eventually happen. So yeah, that's for you, Bilbo. Would it be weird to like finish the game and then have a Kickstarter? And then put stretch goals on that are shit that we could just do in data. It's like, for an extra 1 million halfling monks. We just sit back. There's no work involved even. It would be like the opposite. It would be the opposite of every other Kickstarter. We'd be like, we've got a game, it's finished. Kickstarter for completed projects. It's an entirely new scam. But it would be a very good, it would be a good scam for the consumer. It would be one of those things where you'd finally be crowdfunding something that is actually going to happen. It's like, oh. was going to compliment your CEO abilities, then you gave away your secrets. The secret, our secret business abilities are basically we do shit that we know other people just can't execute on. Stretch goal, green color palette. I'd love a Kickstarter for a badass physical release. Yeah, we could do that. I think that would be something that'd be really cool. Like a nice box, cloth maps. It basically you'd be getting all the trinkets that you usually get that after the platform takes its fee, you pay the taxes on, you pay the production costs on, with the remaining money you're supposed to make a game with. Not sure how the hell that's supposed to work. But that's probably why like Kickstarter projects will often be like Kickstarter, then you get the t-shirt and the title and all that stuff for when the game actually comes out. And then you can actually also pledge even more money. So thank you, Sparrow. I'm thankful that you're thankful. Goodies you used to get with EQ boxes were awesome. You know what was better, Slugbutt? Goodies you would get with the Ultima boxes. The Ultima boxes, you get like the little medallion and the map, the cloth map, and the really dope manuals, like all like brown and old looking dope art inside. All right, what were we actually doing here? They're like, do you work on stream? No, I talk about doing work on stream. That's the secret. I don't actually do any work on stream. I just talk about work that I've either done, someone else has done, I plan on doing. Hey, Mustang Spy. Box was fold out art. Yep. Stretch goal, character creation. Oh my gosh. I told you guys, the people that were here earlier, I found out why my arm's going numb. Instead of streaming, I got an MRI on Monday because we could get it like next day. I have a herniated disc, and that's what makes my arm go numb. So maybe if I didn't sit with such bad posture like a jackass, that would help some. Sometimes on stream he tells other people what work to do. Does that count? That's true. Don't pick on Shawnee's placed 4 barrels in 2.5 hours. I don't even think have I placed any barrels? You saw one? Okay. Wanted to do something. He resized torches. That was what did he do on stream tonight? Resize some torches. You know what? I would feel worse if I didn't do a whole bunch of damn object placement and lighting in here that looks super awesome. So leave me alone. This looks like a good place for some boxes. Yeah, as more of the props come online, we'll definitely do. We'll get even wilder. Central area. There you go. Just for you. Nicodemus said, man, sorry to hear it. I've had disc work done. I have titanium in my spine. Not fun, but it's better than being in pain for sure. Yeah, for me, it's less. Fortunately, it's not really pain. It's just my shit going numb. It's not ideal. Yeah, we've got some nice paintings and stuff that once they're baked out, we'll be able to put on. Here, I'll show you a few of them. We'll be able to put on the walls. Here, I'll show you a few. So we got murals that Goblin did that we'll be able to put on. Are the boxes destructible? These aren't, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, I don't know. So we've got some stuff we'll be able to start sticking on in different places. Oops. I don't think it'll take very much to really start to spruce the place up. A few boxes here, a few murals there. Yeah, tapestry, urns. Ashira evolved from aliens confirmed. No, they just really like... A lot of the cultures in our game are very, very into the heavens, because a lot of crazy shit's happened because of the heavens. Some fun cataclysmic stuff that people still keep in mind. Do we get to kill angels? That would be cool. Well, unless you're into angels, then that would not be cool. But generally speaking, you never know. Yeah, so when we get some rugs and dead animal rugs, yeah, the goblins have some stuff that they've made out of Ashira. So we've already got some like prop ideas and stuff over for the goblin area. Speaking of which, while I'm just sort of piddling around over here, let's go over here and look at their space a little bit and see what's up. Let's look at their spawners too, so we know where people are. But yeah, the goblins have been making stuff out of Ashira. I don't know, did you see, there's some concept I thought did we show it updates in last month's update? Let me take a look. Update. Would it be in the previous month's update? Man, that update was chunky. If you look here, the goblin's wearing an Ashira head. And they've got Ashira tails hanging in the back. And he's got a little baby Ashira pauldron. Oh my gosh, Ashira Street Gang named the Good Boys. Who's the Good Boys? So, people are like, how did the Ashira and the Knolls differ? Well, aesthetically, I really like this variation. The caster variation. Noel's beefier. Halfling mummy. Ooh, sorry for yawning on you guys. Alright, so we got our spawns here. And let's give them... Here, we'll do this. Palette. Should make the whole family halfling mummy, halfling daddy. That is funny. Wooden barrel. It's a goblin area, so I think most things should be like tipped over. Pattis isn't on, so maybe it's a question for you, Goblin. We've got some... That's exactly where I was going first. We've got barrels, buckets, crates, and we've got an open version of some of these, right? So we've got like open, version 2 is open crate, version 2 is open barrel. It'd be really nice if we had some broken ones. Smaller ones, we just do in here. So just come in and go like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, or 0.75. So we've got like a little in Night Harbor. It's not part of a prefab, but we do have a cask that's got like a little spout on it. So I guess I need to learn how to just set up prefabs in a way where they're legit for use. Cask. What would it be? Spigot? No. Throw them half in the ground and may look abandoned. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing in other areas to kind of trick it. Like I might take something like this, and give it the old 90-degree treatment. Where here? Yeah. Let's rotate it here as well. So, well, so we can see it. And then I usually just jam it in the ground. So then it looks, you know, either looks a little bit broken or it looks a little at least filled. But broken ones, seems like if we could get some broken stuff as well, then that'd be good. Especially as we go deeper in some of the more abandoned rooms and stuff. If we had like in Night Harbor, like I said, there's a little, but I don't think it's in any prefabs. But there's like a little tap. I could definitely see a lot of little empty tapped out casks that the goblins have been drinking and throwing all over the place. Yeah, little tapped out kegs. Hey, what's up, Monty? John, I appreciate your smart-ass comments. They've been noted. You're going on my list. So let's just pretend like these are... Wooden barrel, where are you going? Oh my gosh. Is there a shortcut to minimize everything in the hierarchy? There should be. Barrel, boxes, tables, etc. We'll do here, add, create empty parents. And we'll say goblin area. Says default parent. Cool. Cool. Keeping it organized. Zukin, don't you laugh at me. How dare you laugh at me, Zukin. Alright, that's it. Zukin is streaming later. Mocking me. You're going on my list as well, Zukin. Why it's Sparrows? Woohoo! Is that for people going on the list? Are you gleefully... Happy for Zukin punishment stream. There you go, Zukin. They're your cult followers, buddy. I don't know what you guys are getting up to in your streams, but yeah, sounds profitable. That's how we're gonna... How did you guys pay for the game? Well, Zukin's ass is definitely a bit chafed, but other than that, Zukin stretch goals. Damn, that just escalated. Hopefully he remembers the safe word this time. You mean his safe word was not odd. Guess that's what it takes to make an MMO though. Y'all have interesting imaginations is what the original... What? I had nothing to do with this. I'm best friends with a guy who had a list back in high school. He turned out fine-ish. Does he work for the government now? Have you guys had internal discussions about the next open testing session, or are you guys just kind of playing it by ear? Playing it by ear. Playing it by ear, guys. What? Let me reload. So, want to do a bunch of like red lighting around where these goblins are. It's just we've got to figure out a rationale. Or maybe not. Maybe we just do red lighting and say screw it. Right? Like, as long as it looks cool. My thought is as long as stuff looks cool. Did everyone's characters get put on one server database now? That's a good question, Alphonse. We have to... we have to ask Ollie. And Ollie is getting back from vacation like in the next couple of days. Make the fire, the light, make the firelight deeper red. Oh, maybe we need to make a separate, like goblin fire prefab. Interesting thought. That might work. So I would need to come in here and go campfire. I don't know if you guys all know how to do this, or if this is more a question for John or whatever. So if I look here, honestly, I think sometimes you just do shit, like you just change the lighting and your imaginations will fill in the details. Speaking of government, thoughts on the whole Congress UAP thing? I think it's Project Blue Book. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. But I'm also a blatant conspiracy theorist. Oh no, I said it out loud. Oh man, gonna get canceled. So how do I duplicate this? And then save it. Get the distraction angle, but I do think there's some truth in there. There's probably truth that there's technology that we don't understand or know about yet, because unless the government's gotten, and I'm going to be very careful and then move us back out of this topic before I get political or anything else. But you think about, you got to think about how long before the SR-71 was revealed they had been working on it, or things like the stealth bomber. So maybe we're getting really sucky at making things, which is very possible. I mean, we've maybe plateaued in terms of innovation, or we've got some really gnarly shit out there that we're not going to learn about actually how it works for another 20 or 30 years, which has kind of been the case with previous technologies, at least by the military. So, oh no, there's aliens everywhere. Well, not only does it provide like a good thread, it provides potentially a nice strategic rallying cry. It gets us to fixate on a different enemy. It allows us to then focus on producing or investing in the production of stuff that is supposed to counter the stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so that's a thought. Where there's fucking aliens, and if there's aliens, well, good on us. I think half the population will lose its mind. The other half of the population isn't even going to notice because they're too busy feeding TikTok women, fucking candy power-ups so they can pretend to be NPCs or whatever the hell is going on with people these days. So, alien invasion, great. Giant government conspiracy, wonderful. Anything more than just us being mired in this completely inane plateau of stupidity that seems to just be fucking springing up everywhere around us. At least it would be interesting. At least it'd be interesting. It's interesting that they aren't going to extraterrestrial route. They're going extra dimensional route. Well, I mean, extra dimensional, you know, I know you guys aren't allowed to say his name like Voldemort, but that crazy Alex guy from Austin's been saying extra dimensional creatures for 20 years now, so. But I didn't say that. I didn't dare invoke it, because I know there are words you're not allowed to say on the internet anymore. But extra dimensional. It's not like Frank Herbert was, you know. It's like why would they fly across emptiness when you can just fold space-time after, you know, inhaling some spice and getting jiggy with it? Keith asking me, what words would those be? Sometimes you remind me of like the hall monitor that's trying to get me in trouble. Why is that, Keith? Are you an instigator? Say the word, Sean. If aliens made first contact with us tomorrow, do you think that would impact Eminem timetable? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think probably not, unless it was like a really... It depends on how they contacted us. Yeah, let's not I would, if we were hanging out in a bar right now, we could get all sorts of political, and half of you would probably enjoy my rants and half of you would never show up here again. But since we're not at a bar, we will not delve into politics. Hey, Dak player. What if aliens came here just for Eminem? Untapped player market? Wouldn't it be weird if the aliens knew about Eminem but Co-Carnage didn't? That'd be crazy. They could apply alien technology to speed up production. Zukin with a robot that just models all day doesn't go on cookie tangent. We would never replace Zukin with an alien robot. Can offline bar rant be a stretch goal? Yeah, honestly, all it would cost you is you would have to fly to Germany. We'll meet up somewhere and we'll talk bar conspiracies. You just got to leave your phone. You've got to leave your phone in we'll put it in like a Faraday cage or something out of sight. Aliens started appearing when I started streaming. That checks out. Can't leave my phone. Must feed NPCs on TikTok. Dude, what is going on with us? Faraday bags are cheap. Sounds like a plan. Cool. Just meet at the garden. Address is in the other VOD. It's true. You've been paying attention. Yeah, I'd be willing to hang out with folks in real life. It's a shame I'm way over here in Germany. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but did I do any of the Vegas EQ things? I did a number of the EQ fanfares. The Crow said, I'll avoid all you conspiracy nuts, but looking forward to playing the game. That is fair. That's all we can ask from you. I think that is plenty fair. Does Germany have mini golf? It does. Bowling alleys? Yeah, we've got some pretty good bowling alleys here, and then there's an entirely different kind of thing that's different from bowling. It's called a Kegelbahn. And so you can go to like different restaurants and stuff, and they'll have one in the basement. There's one of Jasmine's family members had a birthday recently, and we went to where they live in Cologne. And the restaurant there had a single lane Kegelbahn, and what it is it's basically it's a narrow lane, and some of them I think curve in, I heard, and then some of them kind of curve out, like concave versus convex, and they've got the pins. I think it's like 10 pins, believe in like a diamond shape at the end, and the balls are like you hold them in your hand, and you lob them. There's no finger holes, and so with the concave or convex lanes, it's wild trying to like basically control it, and it's very narrow up until it expands out, and so you've actually got to like be able to spin them through the narrow part and then get them to move around. And you sit down there and just smash beers and play on like this single family sort of. The wood lane has curves. It's straight, though it's got different shapes. And then the Kegelbahn, I think it's Kagl. Maybe an umlaut there. Let me see. Kegelbahn. 9-pin bowling is what the actual Wikipedia says. So here, I'll link it for you. When a team decides to do a meetup eventually, where would it be located to make it easier possible? US would be easiest for the bulk of the team. But, you know, if we're at a point where we can actually do meetups, we'll probably do a variety of different places. Oh my gosh, don't say it. Don't say it, DDJ. Jasmine's still traumatized from the time she accidentally ran over some ducks. What is it with ducks, man? They really make some poor choices when it comes to where they like to walk their families. Not sure I want to meet you nerds after some of the discussions today, Zukin said. Aw. Oh. We can keep it vanilla. Oh, Brown Butcher, that does sound awful. I'd still feel bad about that. Sorry to hear that. That's no fun. If you liked me prior to me giving you some crazy ass opinions, then you should still like me even afterwards. Do you see, Goblin? Do you see what happens when you ask about aliens? Just... Everybody gets weirded out. Everybody gets a little weird vibe. You see what happens, Larry? I'm one of those MFers that wants them to exist, so I probe around for other people's sakes. I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be good for us. You know, it'd be really interesting. Carrington level solar flare. Oh, that would make things interesting. It would suck because we wouldn't be hanging out anymore. And I really like you guys. I do enjoy speaking with you. Monsters and memories and mead. That sounds like a dope time. Nicodemus, I would definitely accept your drink. Is there an easy way to modify all these at once? I don't think there is. Let's see. Nope. Meadsters and memories? Not bad. Well, I guess if I open all of these. Okay, so I got all these now. Then we come in here. And we play with this. And this. Okay, so we'll try that here. Alright. We'll hit save because it's not that big a deal. And zones. Yeah, because why not? Yeah, it's definitely going to take some effort, and I don't think we can just change the light color on them and get the full effect that we're looking for, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Cool thing is we can change the lights in runtime and then get the values. So what I've done is for the other lights in like the city center and stuff, you don't have to put on the red light. DDJ7 English DDJ7. See what you did there. So we can play around with the values and then just grab them and put them in. What would you change your name to, DDJ? Something that does not sound like a drone company. A hating robot. Well then, we'd be clearly differentiated because I am a loving robot. Definitely not an alien. I swear my back's got some red illumination to it. I wonder if the values on those lights are so huge that it's like bouncing off me. What was the radius? Oh shit, I should probably turn off my aggro before I die again. Invulnerable. Yeah, so those of you coming in really, really late, here's the center of... Yeah, absolute target. It's especially Darth Vader-y looking with the... We've made some shader changes, and so byproduct of it is it kind of blacks out easily. But with the hood and stuff, definitely got some Darth Vader vibes. May have mentioned this before. Where did the name A Loving Robot come from? It came from an executive offsite that I went to, and we had to draw an illustration of kind of who we are as individuals, how we perceive ourselves. And I drew the robot from Short Circuit, but with a big heart in the middle. It's because in real life I can come off kind of robotic at times. I've had 2 ex-wives tell me that I was a bit robotic. And I was like, I get that. I understand it. It is what it is. But I swear I am a loving robot. I may not be able to convey it all the time, but I do appreciate and love you people. But I will also destroy you in an instant, John. Me too, my nickname in high school was Data. Yeah. I got the feeling there's some folks out there that can relate. You are such an effing robot. Maybe you are just too emotional. Have you ever thought of calming down? Worst thing you can say to an angry, soon-to-be ex-wife. Mark Zuckerberg is definitely a lizard person. You're correct. I say that in jest. Please. Don't sue me. Looks dope. May have to change the flame sprite too. Yeah, I mean, we've got the blue version, so why not make a red one? Oh wait, I forgot I've got fly on still. Fly makes jumping weird. Alright, RDF? RAF? RBF? The Royal Air Force? What are you talking about right now? Are you going to ship box clients so in 25 years we can emulate Eminem? Does that require box clients? So I'm thinking, so we've got the actual fires, but what I did with the other areas was the way that we were able to get this kind of vibe going here. Is just I threw additional lights in. So man, I'm really torn because I like this sky bridge, but Harrison's got such a dope like goblin, of course. When we come in here, so man, because I like the sky bridge, but it's the one thing that's kind of in this frame here. I wonder if the trick will be to maybe lower this geo. So basically lower this geo to here, so we come in down here, right? Because then the sky bridge doesn't matter. Remember before Eminem jumped a shark way back in 24? What? 24? I think, give us some credit. Let us jump the shark in like 30. Damn. On one hand, that's optimistic because it's assuming that we've been out and able to establish a baseline to jump a shark over, but so 30, thank you. Jeez, man. Let me take 2 screenshots real quick. And I'll get these over to Pattis. So, here. What's going on in Slack? Why do I have 16 notifications, for the love of God? Stop talking about aliens. Yeah, the team's just like, Sean, shut the F up. Zugun was worried about safe word. Yeah, the entire team's just like, stop streaming, abort stream. Have you been drinking again? No, not on stream. I haven't done that in forever. Oh my gosh, you guys calm down. Now we're talking about swingers and stuff too. Calm down. Just calm down. Let's get back to vanilla. What is wrong with you people? I'm glad I had no participation in putting you in such a spicy mood. It was all on your own. We're gonna start spicing the stream up, guys. If you're on the team, you heard it here first. I'm gonna start doing double Red Bulls. Nick's like, nice, that's more my style. F-bombs, politics. Aren't you worried about what? Free marketing? Looking at this establishing shot, was thinking that if you came in at this level, the sky bridge wouldn't be in the way of the waterfall. So this is kind of how we operate. I mean, I'm not gonna show you our Slack necessarily, but it's, people ask a lot how it's like, what it's like to work on a remote team. We're just constantly sending each other information. Eminem development hot tub stream confirmed. You know, if you guys buy us a hot tub, I guess. Zero, thank you for the follow. It's not called aliens anymore. I heard a government official call it non-human biologicals yesterday. Of course he did. Of course they did. BB Girl said, I will literally buy a hot tub if you'll actually do it. I will literally tell my wife you said that tomorrow morning over coffee. Babe, they're gonna buy a hot tub. All I've got to do is stream from it. She's like, yeah, she'd be like, tell them you're throwing in a sauna as well, and it's a deal. Sauna streams, has anybody done that? Heard those are steamy. Oh, Sparrow. You went there, didn't you? Look at the positive. Hot tubs would be good for the old spine disc issue. Gotta look on the bright side. It's therapeutic. I'm totally not pimping myself out. Eminem store will look like a Sears catalog. Oh, I wish. That would be so awesome. A Christmas time Sears catalog. The toy catalog. In my wildest dreams. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this wonderful light color. Let's play with one. Let's go Tel Ekir. Cat girl room, what? Pattis. Oh, Pattis. Dirty bird. Not torches, templates. Center area, yes. Control D. Alt F. Why can't I see my gizmo? I don't see my gizmo. Yes, YouTube, I'm still here, guys. Come on. There's any campfires? It's fun, right? Okay, so where is this? Oh, it's on my face. That's why it's doing this. Okay, so we can rein it back in from 5,000 now. Was it really 500 before? Okay, well, if you say so, I trust you. I don't believe that that's what color we were actually shooting for. I think we're down a bit. Because it's because we also brought the warmth up. Anyways. Have to concept an Eminem cat girl on stream for academic purposes? Goblin, don't you dare. Goblin, I need you to focus, buddy. We have 1,000 props on the list. Cat girl is not one of them. And then Goblin's typical response will be, but what if I could do both? Goblin would be like, but what if I can do both? Goblin's already done a cat person. Has done a, I can't pronounce it very well, Rakasha. Alright, so let's go back to night. Time set 8 p.m. Alright, UI. Cool. Yep, Unity, that is exactly what I wanted to do. Good job, Unity. Goblin, it was not a joke. Admit it. You were seriously thinking about it. It wasn't a joke. Don't try to get out of it now, Goblin. Paste it over here for in a second. Oh, I know it's blowing up my notifications. You design nerds are talking about something. Don't even make me catch up on that. DDJ is going to stream Eminem as a cat girl and eat NPC TikTok ice creams. Well, if you make $7,000 a day, you just need to do that for a little bit, and you know what? We'll sell you a stretch goal. We'll play around with something like this. Is this just lighting objects or are those fires? Right now it's just lighting objects. I'm just really screwing around. All of this is while the client's running, so not really saving any of it anyway. I just figured I'd play around a little bit and then we could look at it in real time and see if it's like too much. Is it too crazy? Is it a vibe? Because I'm a big fan of like vibe over logic. It doesn't need to make a ton of sense sometimes if it looks real cool. At least that's my opinion. Everybody else's opinion may differ, but you know, that's like your opinion, man. What is the vibe that I want for this area? I don't know. That's part of what we're doing, is just kind of figuring out is the bloody nose goblins have I think they're gonna have some reds and stuff if you look at them in the concepts. Where was it? Where were you? Intensity on these lights here might have to be dialed back. Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm just throwing them in super quick. Doom and despair, all ye who enter here. More of a playful kind of. They seem more just kind of like a playful, horrific. Like, you still want them to be fun, and they'll have some charm to them, but I mean, they are wearing the skins of their enemies and like to cover their nose in blood. What's the bulk of the work remaining to be done before release? A lucid controller, and then what is the state of networking? I'll find you an update real quick and I'll tell you what to check out. The bulk of the work to get done is content creation. We still have some systems to bring online. On the tech front, if you go to our website, which you can find here, our updates, all of the updates have different interesting info in them. Here's our stress test results. So it's a detailed analysis of our stress test. Yeah, no worries, Lucid. It's a good question. So this breaks down what we did in our previous stress test. It gives you like pretty technical details in terms of like how we had our various servers set up. We did kind of an A/B test with different servers in different locations with different setups. It gets into some of what we found in terms of internal performance and some of the bottlenecks that we found, blah, blah, blah. we did a surprise stress test on July 4th, just for like folks that were paying attention to Discord, which you can join here. And I mean, we're running, what was it, about 300 people in our newbie zone, like our primary zone. Most people were in there. It was like 300 people, 250, 300. Is that accurate, or am I talking shit? Was it only like 150? I thought we had more than that. I don't remember anybody that was here on July 4th. Anyways, we have a decent number of people, and things are running nice and smooth, unless I missed something. If you ever have questions for more technical details that aren't covered here or other places, and we'll update our FAQ soon with stuff, because a lot of people ask about like our networking code and you know, what we've been doing on the server and sort of networking side, and Ollie's got some great answers. It's just we need to consolidate it into FAQ. Maybe have lights dance or randomly move on a path. Oh, we could have some red like goblin will-o-wisps providing some colors as well. What about that? That'd be kind of weird. We've got will-o-wisps. Lucy Control said, nice, thank you. Very rare actual answer. No, it's, like I said, if you join our Discord, Ollie likes to talk about this stuff. He's very proud of the work he's done so far. We had, like, our stress test, is it listed on here? It was, don't get me wrong, it was laggy and choppy as shit, but we had like 800, 900 people in basically one zone, which was pretty surprising for me, but yeah, because we weren't expecting as many people as ultimately showed up. You know, it was wild, so we wound up bringing up 3 servers and had them with different configs. Oh shit. Are all of these the right? Oh, this stuff's not saving anyways. Some of the chop we induced intentionally too, which may not have been required, I believe Ali said. Was that through just having too much? Were we logging too much? Like we were logging a shitload, and I think that created some bottlenecks as well. But again, this isn't my area of expertise. My area of expertise is discussing inappropriate conspiracy theories on stream while making inappropriately colored lights. That is actually what I am here for. Lower the intensity. Oh, make it a little more subtle. There we go. And decorating. Yes, Sparrow. And decorating. Resizing 3 torches. Putting in 2 and 1/2 barrels, apparently. You guys are so mean to me. I love it, though. I love when you guys punch up. It reminds me that I'm massive. I'm so big. It's really bright out. I guess it's because it's later at night. Nick said, not 100% sure, but I think we overcompensated for the load or something like that. Yeah, that's us, man. Always overcompensating. Time set 7 p.m. Make it a little bit darker in here. Was it expensive to do a public test, renting servers and such? Did you guys get an idea of the operating costs of 24/7 live servers? Yeah, Ollie's got pretty clear estimates now of the cost. I think he had some pretty clear estimates going into it. I don't remember ultimately what all of it cost us. It wasn't like insanely expensive, and it was really a suboptimal setup as well in terms of like because it was such a short-term thing, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Naturally, it costs a little more. But I'm fairly certain we discussed the costs afterwards and looked at it, sort of used that to update cost projections. And it was nothing that was like super worrying or weird or anything. That's why I don't remember any of it. And you see how like some of these tunnels kind of... What in the world? This tunnel goes through here? Oh, that's not good. Not good for the Ashira. We need to put some guards in here. What? Freaking goblins can sneak through. Oh, jeez. Man, I just got really worried for the Ashira. Yeah, it is better with it a lot lower like this, a lot more subtle. It feels like the reflection of some light from somewhere and you're not 100% sure where it's from. Right? Because you can almost justify it like way down there. Not really, but you know what I mean. So we'll definitely go more subtle. And we'll see about getting some flickers. Cool. So... maybe a glowing form of ore they mine. Gilmere, it's not a bad idea, and discuss that for like another area, but I'd prefer for it to not turn into like a mineral thing. Just for some reason it feels like the wrong vibe for this place. It's their hate aura. It's just kind of a thing. Is it better to go with an external company for server support or run your own servers? I don't know. I assume EQ ran their own server farm. Nowadays with the cloud, it may just be easier let it be handled. I think ultimately, depending on how you're calculating that cost, and this was me over like listening in to Ali discussing this with someone else. I think if we had our own racks and blah, 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 not necessarily counting the cost of the live ops people that are helping to manage it, you can do it a lot cheaper than basically having it be other people's servers. But there is some, I think there's some overhead with regards to like who are the employees managing that, and there's some other benefits that ultimately I think stem from the fact that we're just using other people's servers, i.e. the cloud. Cool. So we'll play with that. Overall, I think the red's not bad. We'll do a little capture of this, and I'll put it in my notes area over here as well. Did EQ or SOE run their own servers back then? Yeah, we had a crazy server room in one of the buildings, and I mean, we ran some of the servers, if I'm not mistaken, but not all of them. I think we had other data centers. All right, so cool. I just realized we're creeping up on 11 p.m. my time, so I just streamed for longer. I did not get out of here earlier, but that's good. It's been fun. I'll let some of you that are a little late to the party look at some of the other areas in here since we've been kind of poking around at goblin stuff. $5 p.m. Yeah, if it was only 5 p.m. here, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I was saying earlier, just the more time I spend in the zone, the more I'm really starting to fall in love with it. So I'll keep cranking over the weekend. On Tuesday, we'll have another stream, and by then, a fair amount of this should be done. I've got the feeling by then we'll be moving in from having all of these placeholder NPCs that you see here. Like, these are all basically the same NPC record. Everything's like an Ashir Youngling. We'll be moving into getting distinct NPCs in, getting this thing ready to go. And there'll be more and more props coming online. And yeah. So stream this weekend? Probably not. We've got a full day of stuff going on Sunday. Jasmine and I do. Jasmine wants a date night. I think tomorrow, maybe Saturday, but I think tomorrow. She wants to go to a movie. We haven't been to a movie since we lived in Stockholm. And then let's see. And then Sunday evening, I've got to see, but it sounds like the team wants to have a little design meeting so we can talk through some of this stuff. So my weekend's going to be slammed with that. Plus then, I think the weather is going to be shitty all weekend. So the rest of the time we'll be in here cranking away on putting in at least 2 more barrels and maybe an additional light. And yeah. But then Monday be cranking away, and then Tuesday, man, this zone's, on one hand it's big, on the other hand, once you start to learn, it's kind of like Night Harbor. Once you start to learn it, it doesn't feel quite as crazy anymore, but there's a lot of interior corridors and rooms and stuff that we didn't go through that would definitely be fun. Especially now that we've got halfling skeletons. What? Cool. Nicodemus said, also wanted to mention I've enjoyed the Pets Discord channel. Thanks, Nick, for creating it. It has been delightful. Those of you that are not a part of our Discord, join it. Look out. There's a channel where you can post your pets. Super, super cute stuff. Yeah. So, all right. Let's say our goodnights. And that'll get us out of here in a minute or two. And then I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out. Those of you whose sensitivities may have been a little tickled when we were talking about some stuff earlier, thanks for hanging in there. Don't want to offend anybody or make you sad. John, thanks for all the tips and tricks. I appreciate you being here. DDJ, or whatever your name may soon be, enjoy your weekend as well. Hope the aliens hold off until Monday as well. Quick Santa, thanks for being here. Glad you had fun. Zemus, you're welcome. John, you take care. Goblin, start your stream right now. Oh, that's right. Shit. I've already forgotten. Don't go anywhere. We'll raid Goblin, and you can see him draw cat girls, apparently. Don't go anywhere. I know just don't jump the gun. Hold on here. We'll raid Goblin. Goblin's starting his stream right now. Zukin is doing good. He's active. He's active in Slack as we speak. He's making badass skeletons. He just had a ton of stuff going on IRL. Sparrow. Tuesday we'll actually try to do more actual decorating. I'm so slow. I'm sorry that I'm a slow decorator on stream, but I swear I've been busting ass off stream. Crone. You're very welcome. Shmonites. Take care. You have a good day as well. Goblin, are you ready? He's a slow decorator. Slow decorator. That's completely off key. What key would that be? He's a slow decorator. He's live? Alright, let's rate him. Before I butcher that song anymore. Raid. Goblin work. Start raid. Oh, he's making fish on a string. Hell yeah. Oh, shoulder's completely gone numb. Oh my gosh. That's such a frick. Alright, I'm raiding now. I'm raiding now. I think we're good. I think we're ready to